Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at some source material related to Joyride by Taz. We've got a couple of transcripts here. One seems to be from like a specific mix, the other's tagged as a theme from, that big game series.
Exactly. And our goal here really is to unpack the core ideas in these snippets. What's the energy? What perspectives are coming through about, say, hustle, defiance, and chasing something more?
Okay, let's jump right in. The first thing that really hits you is this theme of the grind, the hustle. It sounds tough. Like this line, hustle gotta grind. Yeah, it's time to redefine this laugh ain't easy. That says a lot.
It really does set the tone, doesn't it? This laugh ain't easy. It signals that achieving anything worthwhile takes, well, serious effort. The sources don't just mention hardship, they frame it. Hard time is build me up strong. So it's not just enduring, it's becoming stronger because of it.
Yeah, and it feels active, not passive acceptance. They talk about needing to rise above the noise, elevate the voice. It sounds like pushing back, refusing to be silenced. These echoes of resilience suggest it's an ongoing thing.
hmm And that determination runs deep. You see, refusing to fall, pushing through the barriers, always aiming for more. But it's personal too. I know I make it mine.
hmm
It's about ownership, right? Making sure their effort pays off for them. Shining, no doubt.
That sense of self-assertion leads straight into the next big theme, defiance,
Yeah.
specifically conflict with authority. One part is just incredibly blunt. LAPD, SFPD, don't fuck with me. That's pretty direct. A line in the sand.
It is. But what's interesting is the complexity. Another source brings in this memory,
Yeah.
this advice. It mentions, stop the violence, strong with the police, what my dad used to say, but now he's Tatis. So there's this echo of different advice, maybe a different path, from someone respected, now gone.
Right. And then immediately after recalling that advice, the text describes trying to figure out the system, the law, or the frame, trying to navigate it. But what happens, just when I thought I knew justice, I got me say, you're just bimbo, MLA, don't fuck with me, N. So trying to play by the rules or understand them still ends in conflict.
Exactly. It suggests that, from this viewpoint, the clash with authority feels, well, almost inevitable, regardless of advice or attempts to understand the system. And the reaction to that perceived inevitability, being ready for a fight, navigating this maze of life means being prepared for that conflict.
So you've got this intense grind, building resilience, crashing against what feels like unavoidable conflict. How does the joyride concept, the track's title, fit in all this?
Well, Joyride itself suggests movement, escape, which
Mhm.
makes sense if you feel trapped in a maze or constant conflict, right?
Yeah.
Sources mention needing a getaway ticket, wanting to speed for my getaway, this urge to go for the joy line. It's about breaking free, moving quickly.
It connects to freedom of movement, too. Make a mark and move where you want to G. But then there's that more provocative line, this determination to steal what you can to run from the nation. That adds another layer entirely.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's where the joyride maybe isn't just about fun. Steal what you can implies it might be illicit, and run from the nation frames it as an act against the larger system. It suggests maybe that real escape or freedom, in this context, might only feel achievable outside the law through defiance.
Okay, so pulling these threads together, the sources seem to paint this picture of navigating a tough world, a maze of life. It requires constant hustle, building this fierce resilience, but it's also defined by this conflict with authority that feels almost inescapable. And the joyride, it becomes this symbol of escape, maybe reclaiming some agency, even if it's through means the system itself would condemn.
Yeah, and this matters because it offers a really raw perspective. It's a look at ambition and survival when you feel like you're constantly pushing against systemic barriers, maybe with limited legitimate ways out. It forces you to consider what life looks like from that vantage point.
So, to recap, we've explored the relentless hustle, that defiant stance against obstacles and authority, and this idea of the joyride as a potent, if complicated, symbol of freedom or escape.
Definitely. And it leaves you, the listener, with something to chew on. Considering this perspective, the struggle within the maze, how different do concepts like freedom and justice become, depending on whether you feel you're inside or outside the frame, depending on where you stand?